Welcome to our first section of chemistry. In this section, we focused on the definition of chemistry. Chemistry is the study of the properties and transformation of matter. And we want to pick apart that definition a little bit. So the first thing we want to talk about is matter. So matter is everything that occupies space and has mass. So as you look around your environment, if you see a table or a chair or a tree or a car, all of those objects are composed of matter. What is matter? If we take that object and begin picking it apart and pulling it apart, maybe if we have a piece of aluminum foil and we divide it in half, divide it in half, divide it in half again, we continue dividing that piece of aluminum foil in half all the way down to the smallest bit of aluminum foil that still has the properties of aluminum foil. It is an atom. So atoms are the fundamental building blocks of all of the matter that we see around us. And those fundamental building blocks are not all identical. We have different types of atoms in the same way that you have maybe built Legos as a child or Connects or some of these or blocks or other objects where you can kind of put pieces together and build a larger object. If we go down to those smallest pieces of blocks or Legos, they're all a little different. They have varied parts to them, maybe different colors or different shapes or different sizes. And we can begin building these, putting these pieces together to build more complex objects. In the same way, we have different types of atoms, and all of these different types of atoms are elements. The elements on the periodic table provide the diversity that we see of all these objects around us, and they're composed of different elements and different arrangements to give us the diversity of matter. In addition to studying atoms and elements on the periodic table, we're also going to be focused on studying the properties of matter in addition to the transformation of matter. So what are properties of matter? And properties can more or less be divided into two different categories. The qualitative properties, how big is an object, perhaps what color is it, how soft or how hard is it. And the other side is the quantitative aspects of an object. What are the object's properties that we can measure? For example, how long is the object? How massive is the object? How fast does an object go? And these are all quantitative properties that we can measure. So measured properties obviously have to have units associated with them, mass in terms of grams or a volume in terms of liters. And when we have these values, we certainly have to have a mechanism to be able to convert between one value in unit and another value in unit, or maybe even do some more complex math. And the processes that we'll be using as chemists or in chemistry is dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis will allow us to convert one object with a unit in mass to maybe another unit or another mass in that particular object. So this particular section will be focused primarily on matter, as well as the properties and measurement of matter and how we can convert between maybe one number in a unit to another number in a unit.